That's right back, Charlie. Definitely.
Because he always used that active red line defending. I think it's like.
People deluded, I'm back again.
Come on, Ian. Come on. Big man Ian Wright just said there, people deluded, I'm back again. Big up to you lot tuned in. To my long-term supporters, I appreciate all your support. If you're new here, you know you need to hit the sub button and turn on your notifications. In fact, everybody hit the like button, turn on your notifications, subscribe. We're trying to get to 70,000. I can't do it on my own. We're family. Let's get over there, people. And again, for everything we discuss or about to get over, let the creative juices start flowing. Don't forget to leave a comment when this video premieres, and also in the comment section after. And again, shameless plug, we're playing Arsenal. Well, Arsenal are playing against Liverpool tomorrow, so you know it's watch along business where that's concerned. Now we're going to go over Mikel Arteta's press conference. We're going to go over the isms and schisms and all of these things in relation to players that we've been linked with in the summer. Again, to a degree, whoever we're linked with in the summer is irrelevant because they can't help us in what's left of Arsenal's Premier League and Champions League campaigns. Let's get over, I wouldn't say the boring part, but where there's transfer news concerned, nobody really wants to hear about the press conference. But I do. I want to hear what Mikel Arteta said about Arsenal-Liverpool, what he said in general. He seems to be in a funny mood making jokes about Benjamin White and Zinchenko and sharing wives and whatnot, and obviously Thomas Partey. So let's get through this. On Gabriel Jesus and Partey, Jesus, who we found out after the game against Forest where he played well and you wouldn't have known, was carrying a knee injury. He said, yeah, Gavi obviously played and trained with us the whole week. With Thomas, unfortunately, he's had a little setback a few days ago, so he's not going to be available to be in the squad. Whether that's a matter of days or weeks, we'll see, but he had a little thing. I mean, at this point, I've exhausted all my thoughts about Thomas Partey. I think he's a quality player. Unfortunately, when you hear the name Thomas Partey, you hear injuries. And I think he's a quality player. He gives us a lot. I do want to keep him, but I do think we're at that stage now where his talent and what he can give the team is irrelevant because you're never here really and truly. So we probably need to move on in the summer. With Gabriel Jesus, it's nice that he's obviously played, recovered, and obviously trained. So we hope that he's obviously going to play against Liverpool. On Partey's setback, he said, I'm not a doctor, but I'll try to explain. He felt something again in a very similar area, and he hasn't been able to train the last few days. So he hasn't been able to train. So, all the talk about him playing against Nottingham Forest was redundant. Obviously, he's not going to be part of Liverpool. And all we can do is hope that he's back beyond that, because now we're entering we are in a crucial period in the season. But obviously we've got the Champions League and February is jam-packed with fixtures. But yeah, I mean, Mikel Arteta isn't a doctor, but he knows specifically what's going on. He's been knowing what's been going on. We've been dealing with these injuries or concerns over Partey for a while now, him at the club and also in general. So he knows, but he's not going to tell us specifically. On the game against Liverpool, what we need to do is play the way we played in the last two games against them. Also defend a lot better because we took the lead again at Anfield, didn't walk away with 3 points, and take your chances. First half, we should have scored 3-4, but we didn't kill Liverpool. And Liverpool are the poster boys of comeback kings. We played with fire. We got burnt, really. And be more efficient in the areas that are going to decide the game. Facts. I'm very excited. It's always great to prepare a game against Liverpool, how good they are, how they dominate every aspect of the game we play at home. And what I sense is a real sense of positivity and enthusiasm around the place. Try and crash the Jurgen Klopp farewell tour. On us being equipped in big games. Obviously, we've had some big experiences, and what we did last season was another big step. This year, what we're trying to do is something even better, and we are in the Champions League as well, which is a big step. Yeah, the squad is better. It's true that we've had some very important injuries, but I think the squad has managed that really well. On the FA Cup game against Liverpool, and if we're in a better place, in terms of team performance, very similar. Obviously, we had an opportunity to refresh and reconnect again when we went to Dubai, and we had a long period as well between the Palace and Forest games. And my feeling is that we continue to play really well. Obviously, we are much more efficient in the final third, and that's very helpful to win football matches. And that's something that's plagued Arsenal December coming into January. Hopefully, we've turned a corner on players fighting each other. Now, I'm sorry, people, but high pressure environments, elite sport, fighting happens all the time, really, because people want the best. And, you know, I think a few years ago, we saw it with Danny Ceballos and Eddie Nketiah, obviously Zinchenko and Benjamin White, probably Gabriel and Rice. I can't believe the amount of people that are shocked about this. It happens, really. Just get on with it. Arteta himself said, you don't argue with somebody that you don't have a great relationship with. And that happens because you have trust and chemistry to react with somebody the way he did. And for me, it's not about Zinchenko and Benjamin White. They just want both of them wanted the best for Arsenal Football Club on needing that sort of behavior in the team. I love it as long as it's done in a respectful way and only with the intention to be more demanding and better as a team, and it stays there. I'm very happy with that. Then he said on Liverpool and confidence and momentum. Yes, we've done it this season. We have beaten big teams already, and it's another opportunity to beat Liverpool now and be in a much better place. Many fans think, you know, if you lose this or you don't get 3 points, the title race is gone. And I don't believe that, and I believe that. I don't believe it because I don't think we can win the title. Well, obviously, I want to be wrong. I just don't think we have enough. I think mathematically, you know, there's still a lot of points, really, because if we lose to Liverpool, it's not going to happen. But if we lose to Liverpool and Liverpool lose every game from now until May, where does that have you? And there's a lot, to simply put, there's a lot of football to be played. That being said, it is a 6-pointer. You're taking points off the team that are top, lost the least games in the Premier League. It is a good vote of confidence because, you know, if you beat Liverpool at the Emirates, City and Liverpool have come here and you've taken points off them. So it shows you that we're trying to be the new kids on the block. But it means nothing if you beat Liverpool and then go and mess around in the next 3-4 games or whatever, really. So I don't believe it, and I do believe it at the same time. We talk about momentum. We've won the last 2 games and we want to win the third one, especially at home with our people. It's going to be an incredible atmosphere and we're going to need that. So I encourage everybody to do that, to play every single ball with us. And if we do that, we're going to have a big chance to win the game. Again, we know Klopp's leaving. We're not going to waste time on that. On if he'll miss Klopp, I think everybody will, the Premier League and everyone. And indirectly, it's irrelevant to Arsenal Football Club. It's irrelevant what Liverpool, City, all these people are doing. But when you see people trying to be great in your industry, that tells you need to raise the level. So Jurgen Klopp's a Liverpool legend, a Premier League legend, a footballing legend. There's, you know, there's no plaudits that I could give Jurgen Klopp, and we wish him the best in this sabbatical. But I am happy to see the back of him. Pep Guardiola, you've achieved more than Klopp in England. Look what Klopp's doing. You need to follow him out so we can be the new kids on the block. On if we're not as unpredictable as last season, probably not, because, you know, we was a breath of fresh air. Now everyone's trying to clock what we're on, and we're kind of having to deal with expectation of being where we are as a football club. There are moments where you provoke certain things and other things where the opponent's behavior dictates what the game requires and what you can do. We are still the team that defended against more deep blocks last season. It's nothing new, and we still score goals in different ways in the last 2 weeks as well, which is great to see. So the team has dominated every aspect of the game. We are conceding less than last season and obviously are generating more. It has been seen in the scoreline, and that's the challenge. On why we didn't sign a striker in January. If we win on Sunday and score a lot of goals, I think like this. I love my players, and I think that on Sunday we're going to score goals and they're going to be top, and they fully deserve all our credit because of the way they are. Fair enough, but striker would help us. I don't think many people expected a striker in January, but it would have been nice. Obviously, we see players fighting each other, people, and emotions are high because everyone wants the best. And the manager said that. He said on us potentially missing out in the title race, I don't know. My mindset is to win it, and I'm in that frame at the moment. On if it's a must not lose match. If you can't win, don't lose. Taking a draw against Liverpool isn't the worst. We'd love a win, but you live to fight another day. No, it's a game that we want to win, and we have to earn the right to win it. In order to do that, we're going to have to do so many good things because there's a reason why they are there, but as well, there's a reason why we are where we are, which is true. And then he said, maybe there is not a player in the market that can really make a difference or impact you need if you're able to recruit them. Probably the case of everybody. We all know beating Liverpool, City, United, these games breed confidence. I won't waste time on that. On Thomas Partey, it's a big concern because he's such an important player for us, and he was getting some momentum at the start of the season, and then we lost him for a while. Now it's been a long time without him, and he gives us something very different that no other player can give us in the squad. He's been a real miss. If we've known that historically for Thomas Partey since he's been at Arsenal or been under Mikel Arteta, I'm not doubting that because that is true with Partey. Should we have acted in the summer? I'm not sure, people. He then said there's been different kind of injuries. Not everything is about luck, but there are a lot of things that are very difficult to control as well. The player has a history where we had some issues in the past, but we have to try to protect him and do everything we can to try and avoid it again. And he was fit for 40 games last season in all comps, 33 in the league. It's a bit of a shame. We all know that we've sold the rights to London Coley and named it something new, as I've covered in another video. On young Lino Salsa leaving, it was a club decision, and obviously he had a very particular situation with his contract. So that's, we saw, you know, what contract running down, pathways unclear. You know, we didn't get X amount of multi-millions, but it is 100% profit on FFP. It is what it is. There's been a lot of talk about it, and the club believes it was the best decision to do, and I supported that decision. Big up Lino, because he could have just signed a new deal and listened to everything the club told him, or just coached at Arsenal. But, you know, he wants to make inroads, so we wish him the best. On the willingness to give young players a chance, we certainly want to do that. First of all, we need to produce those talents, and they have to earn it. And secondly, they have to be in the positions that we need fulfilling. Everything has to come together, and we're working on that. We have a few prospects which are not far away, but the reality is we want more. Today, to give opportunities to play in the first team at the level required, we're a bit short. So he doesn't believe anybody immediately is convincing enough, but he said we've got a few prospects that are far away. So there you have it, man. Unless you're on the Ethan or Saka thing, it could be, you probably need a bit of fortune really and truly with that. So yeah, man. On Mikel Arteta talking about Benjamin White and Zinchenko, he said, yes, they've been in the same house in the past few days, sharing wives and everything. It's fine. They're living together. They're best mates. So obviously that's a bit of humor from the manager, man. He's acting a bit. He did say on the Liverpool game, I showed the player a lot of images after the 54, 57th and 63 minutes of the FA Cup tie against Liverpool. Chances and the reaction of all the players was incredible to each other. I did not. And then he said, against Fulham, I did not like it. At 1-1, Saka missed a huge chance, and I did not like the reaction. The scoreline reflects what the team produces, and we have to coach that. We have to evolve the play. We have to create more situations that have to fall on us, in brackets, coaching staff, that's for sure. Fair enough, really and truly. And yeah, man, I mean, who doesn't like ugly goals? I don't care who scores, how we score, just score in it. I would love lovely Wenger ball or Arteta ball, you know, sequences that lead to goal. I'd love screamers and free kicks and things, but who really cares how he put the ball in the back of the net? Runnison has cancelled his contract at Arsenal and his loan at Cardiff People and has left the club by mutual consent. What a waste of money. Young Charles Sago Jr. has joined Swansea on loan in the Championship. We wish him all the best. Miguel Aziz, who, you know, at 21 years of age, really struggled to assert himself on loan, heads back to Spain and leaves and joins Atletico Baleares in a permanent transfer. We wish the 21-year-old all the best again, getting money in the club in terms of loan fees and selling players. Zayn Monlouise is headed to League One side Reading on loan. We wish our young defender all the best. The same goes for Kion Edwards, who will be in League One, will be playing Leyton Orient. I don't know if Reading have played Leyton Orient already, but it'd be nice to see Kion Edwards represent Leyton Orient against Monlouise, really and truly. And big up all of them, because a lot of these guys are at the stage where if you're not going to get first team football at Arsenal, you need to leave the under-21 circuit, in my opinion, and go and assert yourself elsewhere, people. Omar Rekik, as you know, he returned to the club from his loan spot at Wigan. He's headed to Swiss side Servette on loan for the remainder of the season. So we wish the 22-year-old the best as well. Obviously, Lino has left and joined Aston Villa. We wish all the young killies the best. Lokonga's finally getting some game time and some consistency at Luton. If they stay in the division, which I hope so, maybe Arsenal have an opportunity to sell a player for a profit. But at the same time, maybe he gets an opportunity at Arsenal. You'd imagine Jorginho, El Nene, Thomas Partey, anything from one to all three of them could depart the club. We'd probably need to bring a couple in. I would love another number 6 and an 8. Maybe, you know, reintegrate Lokonga. And I would love to keep the pathway clear for a young Charlie Patino. But I personally think, I don't know where that is. But Lokonga's spoken and he hasn't necessarily given up hope of making it at Arsenal. And I've always said it. I think Lokonga's probably too immature to play as a lone 6 for Arsenal. I don't think he's quite got the glee to play as an 8, but I don't think he's a bad player. I think it's the confidence, really and truly. He looks like a really big confidence kind of man, really. You know, you look at when he joined the club in pre-season, initially, towards when he left, he was a shadow of his former self. The man himself has said, I think it's too early to say. I haven't had any contact with Mikel Arteta yet, which Arteta's got his own job, but it would be nice to hear you've had conversations, which Smith Rowe said he did when he was at Huddersfield with Arteta. I'm concentrating on Luton. We'll talk to Arsenal at the end of the season, but everything will happen gradually. I still consider myself an Arsenal player. I'm appreciated there by the fans and the staff. I think I can have a future at Arsenal, but that will depend on my performances here. I've always said that as long as I have a contract with the Gunners, I'd like to make my mark there. Big him up because that's what I like to hear. He also went on to say, I'd signed for Arsenal. I learnt a lot there. Maybe I could have gone out on loan at the end of my first year because I wasn't playing much, but I'll never regret my move to Arsenal. It's a club that's close to my heart. I hope Arsenal are champions this season for my friends and staff. Big him up, people. He's got a contract until 2026. So you'd imagine within the next 18 months, if they're not going to leave him, Smith Rowe, players like that, we need to decide what we're doing. I personally, anything can change, really. A loan spell can change your fortunes, really, as we saw with Smith Rowe initially, with Saliba. But maybe the club are hoping he just puts himself into the shop window. We sell him and we keep it moving, really. But who doesn't love an underdog story? We've been linked with 6'4" Sesko once again. Apparently, AC Milan are tussling with Arsenal to bring him to the club, people, really and truly. And it's also reported that Arsenal will look at Victor Osimhen, who has an exit clause of 111 million as well, people. I'm a big fan of Sesko, and I know he's not doing the business where the Premier League is concerned. I mean, where the Bundesliga is concerned, but I've got a lot of time for him. It is easy to link Arsenal with a striker, especially someone that's on the youngest side, kind of side. Apparently, he's got 50, 60 odd million exit clause. So if you can't get the Osimhens, if you decide not to go for Tony, that could be something right up our street, really and truly. So I'd be all for it, but I am wary of paper talk. We all know that a move for Ivan Toney could be explored as well, people. Arsenal have also been linked with a possible deal for RB Leipzig striker Sesko. The Slovenian moved to the Red Bull Arena over the summer from his sister club RB Salzburg, and the powerfully built 6'4" frontman has adjusted well to his new surroundings, scoring 8 goals so far from 25 appearances. I mean, he appears to be second fiddle, people. Apparently, Blind journalist Christian Floort claims Sesko is likely to become Arsenal's top summer target and has revealed the Gunners are set to go head-to-head with AC Milan for his signature. He claims the Italians are preparing an offer in the region of 40 million euros, in brackets 34 million, for the 20-year-old who has 10 goals in 26, and he seems to be second fiddle where his club's concerned. Apparently, he said Sesko came in the summer for 24 million euros to Leipzig. AC Milan is currently offering 40 million euros. Arsenal are also watching the attacker. He has an exit clause of 50 million euros and he's contracted until 2028. He could be a long-term successor to Olivier Giroud. He would tie in greatly with what we're doing, really and truly. So fair enough. Once again, that kind of echoes the same thing. Apparently, Jack Wilshere is keen on the Aberdeen job, people, as he looks to make the inroads from youth manager to in the senior game. What happened to the Colorado Rapids role? I guess they chose something else. So yeah, maybe Jack Wilshere, there's something that he's going to go on. We've already gone over that. And, you know, Jarell Hato, the left back / centre half for Ajax, rumours won't go away. Apparently, Arsenal are keen on signing him and are monitoring his development, according to Romano. It was impossible to sign him in January because of the rules. He's 17 and Jarell Hato, from Ajax. So it's not a deal for January, but Ajax want to extend his contract as soon as possible. And Arsenal try to understand how is the situation around Hato. I mean, if he signs a new deal, I think Arsenal will keep monitoring him. I think Ajax are probably waiting until he's 18 to get that deal sorted, people. So yeah, people, it was again impossible to make the deal happen in January, but Arsenal are following this boy closely. They believe he is a special talent. We saw Arsenal signing players in recent years from Ajax. Players or player? Timber, who else? Don't know, people. Maybe Akpom can put in a nice word for us because the Nottingham Forest move didn't work and he's obviously at Ajax. They wanted Lisandro Martinez. They signed Timber. They have a good connection and they believe that Hato is a player who could be of interest in the future. So Arsenal wanted to move for steps for this deal for Hato. At the moment, again, Ajax want to extend his contract, but I think this guy is going to be one to watch very soon. If I was him, 17, turning 18, playing week in, week out at Ajax, the fans love you. Check out the video I did with We Talk Ajax. Check them out on YouTube as well. I like him a lot, but I don't, as much as I want him at Arsenal, you know, from a selfish Arsenal point of view, you know, the way Ajax look at football, the way we historically look at football is seamless. He's multifunctional. He's young. He's impressionable. Obviously, he can help us in the short term as part of the squad, in the medium and long term. But if I was him, I think there's something to be said with young players and stability. It feels like if you're 16, 17, 18, all the way to up to 21, and you've had a great 10 games and you're playing for, well, Ajax are a big club, but you're playing for a lesser sort of club, the Premier League giants are onto you. You have to make that move. You know, you're 17, turning 18. You stay there. You make 100 appearances. You develop well. Kind of Timber probably left too late. And then when you're 20 or something like that, you make the move. That being said, get the man at the club, people. Really. Let me know you lot's thoughts on Hato, on Sesko, on everything we've considered with Mikel Arteta. Would you get rid of Partey with the latest injury setback in the summer? Do you think he's a player we can still attempt to believe in? Don't forget to join me for my watch along where Arsenal and Liverpool are concerned. Check out the rest of the content. Again, at the time of making this video, it's Saturday, so I think, you know, if it's not out already or you're checking this later, I did a Q&A show with you lot or answering you lot's questions, so that's there. So there's always content. Turn on your notification bell, smash the like button, subscribe and comment. Let's make inroads towards 70,000 subs. That's all I've got to really speak about and say, people. As usual, appreciative to you lot. You lot enjoy what's left of your morning, afternoon, evening and night. Peace.
There's always just that active red flag defending. I think it's like